somewhere which is pretty far from most places. It's a little truck stop, about 60 k's from where we stopped last night, which I can't remember. What was it? Where did we stop last night?
It was Benny Malal.
Yeah, that's right, Benny Malal. Yeah, which is yeah, just like another little town, little market. Yeah, not a bad spot. Today's riding's been pretty good. It's a little bit cold. I'm feeling a little bit cold. I think we're getting higher. We're sort of entering into the hills now. There's sort of like a low cloud over the hills in the background there. It's not a beautiful day, but it's a fine day. It'd be good if the sun came out at some point. What's been happening?
Marrakesh.
Well, we're in Marrakesh for 4 days.
5 days.
5 days, yeah. That was interesting. Marrakesh is an interesting town. It's full of tourists, which is one of the reasons I didn't really want to get the camera out too much, because I don't know, everyone had the cameras out. So. But yeah, exotic. I was sick for a few days and sort of like in a coma in bed. Basically didn't get out of bed for like 2 or 3 days. Also, our bikes were stolen by the police, which was interesting. Matt found them gone late at night, 9 o'clock at night, and so that was shocking. We thought they were gone for sure. Someone stole them. We'd left them in the square, it's ill-advised, like the main square, just parked in the expanse for 4 days. And yeah, anyway, so they'll take it. So we went to the police. It took a while because their English wasn't great and our French was not at all good. To make them realise that we had motorcycles firstly, that was a bit shock, and then that they were stolen. So that was also a shock. So anyway, what? You have a show going with this?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was. We got this guy to come along. He's a really good dude.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He was on our side.
Anyway, so the first thing he did, for some reason, was to get us to go into a van, like a police van. So we're in the back where criminals normally reside. Like it was just. Oh, messy. Here we go, breakfast. Petit déjeuner. That looks really good.
Yeah. Awesome.
La vache qui rit.
Merci.
This actually looks like a pretty damn good breakfast.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's auto zoom. Oh no, I zoomed it in. That was auto zooming. Alright, well, do you want to keep going?
So, yeah, so I was sitting in the back of this van and it was austere in this van, quite large. And, so there's like bench seats and we were facing each other. And basically everything of the internals of the van had been stripped out. So it was just like metal and rivets and stuff like that. And we're, yeah, so we're sitting there for a while. And then they're sitting in the front of the van talking to each other on the radio. Our man is talking on the radio and there's another guy in the front of it. And what are the sequence of events? I guess
basically,
I didn't really think about it for a while.
The very first thing he said was, were the bikes gone for 4 days?
Yes,
or were bikes parked in the square for 4 days?
Yes, that's right, yeah. And so then we thought, something's up, right? And then there was like a lot of talk, and then he asked for more and more details about the bikes, like the BMWs. Did they have chains on them? Because I guess that was a big point for them, because it would have been really hard to move with the chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were talking for, and then he said they're in the police hub.
Yeah.
Police hub. So we're like, oh, that's good. But then we weren't getting let out of the van or anything like that.
And we realised that we'd actually done something wrong.
Yeah.
And we were in the back of a police van.
Yeah, that's right. And then they were starting to think that perhaps they had no intention of letting us just go. Pick up the bikes. Like, it wasn't a hooray, it was more like, aha. Yeah, so anyway, they were talking to us for ages, like, talking on the radio for ages, and we were starting to get a bit of a sinking feeling, like, this may be a little more involved than we hoped. Yeah, so it was a bit of a mixed emotion.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I wasn't feeling, it wasn't like a roller coaster, it was just sort of like, the despair that went to elation sort of tarnished a little bit at this point. But anyway, so we're back around for a while, and then he decided to drive us to the Quatrième arrondissement.
Yeah,
And that's where the cops were that did the whole, like, that took our bike in. So we're in there. We're hanging around some crims in the jail cells and stuff, and they were telling us that we needed to do something. And so we went. Our guy was driving us around, and it was cool actually. He was driving the police van. It wasn't exactly an emergency, but they had the lights on, and they would go through red light, every red light. They would not stop for anything.
driving oncoming traffic.
Driving oncoming traffic, like the queue. There would be a queue for a red light, right? And so to get around that, they would drive in through oncoming traffic, and then through the intersection if it was red. So that was pretty cool.
You should take a moment to describe the attire of the Moroccan police.
Yeah, they're cool. Moroccan police are they're
two categories.
They're good dudes. Yeah, there's two categories. There's what look like police, and then there's the operatives, like the agents. They all dress like Miami Vice style, black leather jackets,
Wayfair.
beat caps, wayfarers. They're all walking around with like his attitude, like big black shiny shoes, stylish muddy pants, jeans, and it was just they look like cool dudes. And we actually saw the commissariat.
Yeah. We interacted with him intimately.
Yeah, we actually had quite a lot to do with it.
Our case was taken right to his desk.
Yeah. So that was we had to get a signature on our little paper. So it's just for a fine. It was a big deal to get these bikes out of the fermeture. Anyway, so what happened? There was a bit of back and forth, but basically there was a lot of waiting around. We drove out to the fermeture, looked at our bikes, just to confirm that they were right.
And the fields of other bikes.
Oh, there's like 1,000 other bikes. But ours were definitely the nicest bikes in that. Because I guess everyone asked where our bike was made. The BMW was made, and we're like, Germany. I guess. Actually, I don't know where BMW is. It's German made. That all impressed everyone. Because I guess the bikes here are Moroccan. They're all made in Morocco. Because they all, almost every bike I've seen without exception look pretty similar. And there's like either the pedal bikes or sort of like the Harley-esque bikes that look cheap. And I think they're anyway. We went to the fermeture anyway. We decided we weren't going to do it today, we weren't going to finalise everything today, so we had to come back tomorrow. We went to back there after a little sort of screwing around, and it was pretty fun. But like we just spent a lot of time in like the police precinct, watching the comings and goings, and just seeing these cops do their thing. It was all very calm as well, very, very calm. It wasn't a lot, it wasn't busy. When you think about police stations, I guess in Australia I've been to police stations and there's basically nothing. This is like that. Everyone's very calm, even the criminals. No one was freaking out. There was no like anger.
Even the guy that was handcuffed to the cell.
He was fine, he was just chilling out. while in the time. Yeah, so we got a bikes back. I'm quite pleased about that because basically when Matt saw them gone, we sort of basically concluded that this was the end of the motorcycle tour. Yeah, and so now we're back on our wheels and we drove for a few hours yesterday. And now we've got about another 4 hours of riding or so today. And we should be where we need to be, which is Fez. So that's great.
All right.
That's it.